Okay. So can you tell me what is linear algebra? There are two terms here, linear and algebra. What do you mean by these two? See, when we talk about lines and all, it's a question of geometry. And then we are doing algebra of lines, algebra of linear surfaces, algebra of linear shapes, lines, planes, etc. Right? So now what we are going to do is this linear algebra is pretty interesting in the sense that look, you can you can do completely the algebra way, which is where we use all matrices and stuff. The other way is to basically look at it in terms of geometry. The other way to look at it is in terms of geometry. It means this is one branch of mathematics where you see that algebra and geometry basically exist hand in hand. It's like a very tightly coupled relation that you have between algebra and geometry. In fact, I used to tell my students that look, it's like this. Uh, you know, uh, for any mathematician, algebra and geometry are like, let's say, two close friends. You know, so it's like you can always go solving a problem the algebra way, and suddenly you feel bored. You can say, look, I don't want to look at algebra. Let me look at geometry. It's like I keep walking with one of my close friends, and then I keep walking on, let's say, on the riverside. I feel bored talking to the fellow. I'll say, look, I don't want to talk to you. I'll talk to the other fellow. Now I start talking to the other fellow. And after some time, I feel bored again with geometry. I tell him, look, I don't want to talk to you. I'll go back to my old friend, algebra. Neither algebra feels bad, neither nor the geometry feels bad. So it's basically that kind of complete, beautifully structured mathematical domain is basically our linear algebra. And now what we're going to do is to look at things in terms of geometry and stuff. We're going to look at what are called as vector spaces. Now, what is it that we understand by this term, vector spaces? What do we understand? Is there something that we understand from this term, vector spaces? Can someone tell me? So, can someone tell me what are vector spaces?
Uh, some operations, addition and multiplication operations are satisfied.
That is true, but we must know what a space is, right? See, we know what a set is. We know what a set is, right? The set of odd numbers, set of even numbers, like that, we know. But here, somebody comes and says,
collections of vectors. Collections of vectors.
That means they should have actually called it a vector set. No, why should they be calling it as a space, vector space? Is that right? Is the question clear? See, for example, if I have a collection of fruits, what do I say? I say it is a set of fruits. If I have a collection of integers, I say, look, it is a set of integers, right? Now, why should somebody call it vector spaces? Where do vectors exist? We just saw. We are going
collections of objects.
Collections of objects is set. Typically, what do we say? This vector 1, 2 lies in a two-dimensional space.
Yeah.
So naturally, whenever you talk about vectors, their existence is in some space. So what we say, we're going to look at, instead of saying collection of vectors as a set, we're going to call collection of vectors obeying certain property as vector spaces. Now, for constructing a vector space, what is it that we know? What is it that we want to have? So the question is, before we go into what are vector spaces, is there anything fundamental to a vector space? See, for example, I have this. I have certain. What do you call? See, we have a certain classification called citrus fruits, right? Vegetables, we have certain classifications called green leafy vegetables. We say all that, right? Now, fundamental to that classification, what is it that we want? We say set of odd numbers and set of even numbers. So fundamental to that, what is it that we want? So the question is there anything fundamental to vector spaces? Or vector space just has come into being like that, a mathematical structure which has come into being like that. Is it clear? Is the question clear? See, what is fundamental to this classification of odd and even integers? Hello?
Divided by 2.
No, that is right. We say odd and
Its direction.
no, fundamental to even defining odd and even integers, I must have something called as integers, right? Without having some structure called integers, how would I even tell that, look, it is odd integer, this is even integer? Are you guys, is everybody getting that?
The fundamental for the vectors is direction.
No.
You should have a direction.
Okay. How do I create vectors is what I'm calling. Of course, there's a direction. We will see how is the direction actually going. So fundamental to the vector space is the mathematical structure. What is that mathematical structure? That we are going to see now. Is that clear? So we'll say this. Fundamental to a vector space. Just 1 minute. So fundamental to a vector space is what we call as field. What we call a field F, which is yet another mathematical structure. Which is another mathematical structure. Is this okay? Unless you tell me what is this mathematical structure, I cannot talk about certain vector spaces, which means whenever I talk about vector spaces, I must tell you, or we must look at what is the field from which this vector space is created. Is this clear? This is fine. So let us look at what is this field. So what is a field in the first place? What is a field? Okay. Now, first of all, let us consider this. Let us consider the set of real numbers. Set of the screen is visible to all of you, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let us consider the set of real numbers. We name it as R. Now, can you tell me what are all the properties of the set of real numbers?
Addition, subtraction, any two real numbers is again a real number.
Exactly. So if you try to add or subtract two real numbers, the resultant is a real number, then
Multiplication is also.
that means when you add two real numbers, the resultant is a real number, which simply means to say that the set of real numbers is closed under addition.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yes? Then
Yes.
Can we go ahead? Yeah. Next one. Yeah. Is there anything else that we have?
Closed under multiplication.
It is closed under multiplication. What does that mean?
We can multiply it by any scalar is again any number can multiply it by scalar is again a real number.
Any number multiply. When you multiply two numbers, you mean to say that the resultant is a real number? Because the scalar also has to be a real number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there anything else that we can tell? Okay, so let us write this property. Then we have other, if you add two numbers, then you know how to add three numbers. You add these two numbers and then add the third number. or you add the other two numbers and then add the first number, the result is going to be the same. Right? You have this associativity, commutativity, distributive property, all those things you have. So now let's look at this. So the first property that we said is R is closed under addition. Is that right? What we call as addition operation. That is, for A comma B in R, A plus B is also an element of R. Is this right? Closure under addition. Yes? Now, I'm going to ask you this. For every A in R, what do we mean by saying for every A in R? For every real number R, we can always find a minus A in R such that A plus minus A is equal to 0. Is that right?
Yes.
This means minus A is called the additive inverse of A. Is that right? Inverse of A, and 0 is called the additive identity. Is this clear? Can you please mute yourself? Yeah. Additive inverse of A, and 0 is called the additive identity. The third property that we have is point number 3. For every A in R, we can always find a 1 by A in R such that A into 1 by A, or we put it the other way, 1 by A times A is equal to 1. Right? Therefore, we call this as multiplicative inverse of A and we call this as the multiplicative identity element. Is this right? Is this correct? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is this right? Answer. No, I have made a mistake here. What is the mistake that I made? Can someone figure out what is the mistake I've made? Suppose I take A is equal to 0. What is 1 by A? What is 1 by A?
Infinity.
Sir, not defined, sir. Infinity.
Not defined. But we have made a very generic statement. Say for A, every A in R, we can always find 1 by A in R such that 1 by A into A is 1. Therefore, we have to look at this case. For every A in R, A not equal to 0, we can find 1 by A. So this is called the multiplicative inverse of A. Is this okay? Do we get this?
Yes, sir.
Is everybody clear with this? We can always say A plus B for, okay, then as I said, you have this property. Suppose you have, let's say, A plus B plus C in R, where A, B, C in R. We can always say A plus, either you do A plus B first and then do E plus C, or you do B plus C first and then add A. Okay, and we also know that A plus B is equal to B plus A, which is commutativity and so on. Is that clear? So we have certain properties. Now what we are going to say is such a set of elements. Okay, such a set of elements. In this case, we say that the real number, set of real numbers R is a field. Is this okay? So what is the structure of a field? A field is nothing but a collection of elements which is closed under addition, closed under multiplication, which has an additive inverse, additive identity element which is 0, which also has a multiplicative inverse which is 1 by a for all numbers other than 0. Is that clear? Thus, that constitutes the structure called a field. Is this okay? Is everybody fine with this? So this structure. So let's write that. So a field F with elements, okay, is a collection of elements such that is a collection of elements such that A, it is closed under addition, closed under